Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today in a rather late night episode? I was out celebrating a birthday of a good friend, and I got back. I got back a bit ago, but then I was also like, let's have a bath, let's have a shower, let's get cleaned up and everything. Not that I was like particularly dirty, but it was just like it's time. I'm very much an evening sort of wash sort of person rather than not. So I guess technically happy Halloween, everyone, even though it's technically tomorrow evening, which will be whatever. Good evening, everyone. I'm here with a late night broadcast. I hope I can make it through this. Right now, it's 1:18 a.m. on Thursday, October 31st. Should be Wednesday, October 30th, 2024. So yeah, I'm just recording a bit later than usual today. Nothing outrageously crazy. Me don't thinks. But yeah, we were just celebrating a friend's birthday. We gave him some nice presents, and we basically did kind of like a one shot. I would say it's more like a mini campaign rather than a one shot because we did it a little bit slowly. It was Call of Cthulhu, which is not a system I played with before, but you learn one system, you kind of get the gist of most systems, to be perfectly honest. And we did some module. I wish I could tell you what the module is, but I don't know. The only thing I know it had, it was about like a house, which was someone was trying to basically sell, and we were investigating it, and it's like probably like haunted, but who knows? It's Call of Cthulhu, like everything's haunted. Yeah, I'm trying to remember people's names. It was like Mr. Cole or something was the landlord. Coppet Manor? It's something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, that's probably enough information. But if you know what it is, you probably could find out what it was from that information. But no, what I was gonna say was we did a nice little like one shot. I'm not gonna talk about it too much yet in case we carry on at some point, and then I'll talk about it once it's concluded. My friend said that some people took 4 hours, some people took 12 hours, and we're probably on the much longer scale of time it takes. My gold-trimmed tunic turned into a pile of sludge. Cost 2 Neo points. Okay, I'm not too worried about that one then. Yeah, but it was a good time. I think it was a good time, at least. And the comment I had was the same thing that I said, and actually the same friend ran Honey High. So I was like, it's interesting being on the player side of it. I feel like it's a lot easier just to sort of like take a every time I'm DMing, I'm just like I gotta be like on at all times, and I gotta be paying attention. I gotta be making sure that I've got something like what can come next. Can I fill in the silence? What are they going to be thinking about? Gotta get things ready. But when you're just a player, I'm just kind of here for a ride. It's much easier just to be like, oh, the only thing I need to worry about is in this situation is improvising something. But yeah, it was a pretty cool time. What else can I say? I thought it was a fun time. Hopefully we get to continue it at some point. But yeah, the thing I was going to talk about today, I mean, I don't mind spending more time talking about this at the beginning, mainly because I'm not sure what else I'm going to say, to be honest, about the one I'm going to talk about, which is basically sort of walking up and down the Champs-Élysées, because that's basically the next thing we did, is we did the walk from the Arc of Triumph, or l'Arc de Triomphe, walking down the Champs-Élysées, finishing at the Concorde Monument. That's like a pretty known sort of like touristy sort of walk, right? Because you see 3 attractions all in one. It's a very nice walk, and we did what ended up being like at first I thought it wasn't a very smart idea because none of the shops were open, but it ended up being a very good idea. Is that we ended up walking down at night time, and I would say it's very, very pretty. It was actually, I don't know if it's necessarily my favourite moment of my Paris holiday, but it was definitely an underrated moment, I think, which I probably disproportionately liked compared to the average person. The Champs-Élysées is actually a surprisingly nice street. It's basically like a really fancy sort of high street. Well, I shouldn't say it's really fancy because you're going to get the wrong idea, but it's just like a very popular, known sort of high street, right? Well, a high street kind of gives it the wrong vibe, but maybe that's the right way to describe it. I'm not really sure. An avenue, yeah, that's probably a better way to put it. I'm looking at a Wikipedia article. And it's, over a mile long and connects, as I say, the Arc de Triomphe and the Concorde. And it's got a lot of like luxury stores on it, some very nice like buildings and like commercial things which you can go up and down. But there were some theatres, that's true as well. It's known for finish of Tour de France and for annual Bastille Day military parade. Yeah, it seems like it'd be great for a parade or something. But it really is quite nice. And the reason I liked it so much is like it felt, even though I wasn't buying anything on it, even though a lot of the stores were closed while walking down it, it felt great sort of walking down it. Like it felt like when you picture Paris or something, what people have like a stereotypical idea of it. Like walking up and down Champs-Élysées was like, this feels like what people would imagine Paris is like. You know, these sort of like fancy sort of buildings. You like look to your left, there's like a Chanel building. You look to your right, there's like a Dior building. And you look further ahead, Louis Vuitton has got like a store or something. Fancy mannequins sort of posing in front. Although notably there was not like any jewellery or something on the display cases outside, which my friend speculated that maybe they had issues with people like breaking it and stealing it in the past. And I was like, that makes sense in a very sad way, I suppose. Because I feel like, I'm not going to say it's like glitz and glamour, it's not like Las Vegas or something, well, what I imagine Las Vegas to be like, but it was still like it felt like, you know, I was like a rich person sort of walking down the street, you know, like, I was almost like living a fake fantasy while I was window shopping, be like, oh, it's just like, I'm a billionaire walking down, just like walking to one store, pick up everything I want, and like walk to the next or something. Obviously we're not doing that, but I still had a great time sort of just like window shopping. We even went to, what's that brand called? Octane. Or, yeah, I think that's how I say it. We went to one of those stores in France, which if you don't know, they're kind of like, I was going to say beauty store, but maybe it's more like a beauty plus health sort of store. They kind of have like a lot of luxury, sort of like body cream, shower gel, shampoo, things like that. And perfumes as well. And we did, well, I don't really remember what my friends bought. I think my friends bought some macarons maybe, or some other things. But I bought like an eau de, was it eau de toilette or eau de parfum? I can't remember. I can look, hold on. I can tell you it. It was an eau de toilette. And it was fleur de cerise, which is cherry blossom flowers, I guess. Oh, no. I guess technically flowers of cherry, but you know, cherry blossom. And I thought it smelled really nice, so that's why I bought it. I was very tempted to get some like hand cream as well, but then I was like, I'm not really sure which hand cream I want. Oh yeah, that's another thing I was going to do. Sorry, it's got a million things over here. You probably can't even hear me right now. But I found out that some cough sweets melted basically in my bag, which I brought to my friend's place, because I reached into my bag and I was like, why is my bag so sticky? Like, they asked me for a pen and I was like, oh, I do have a pen in here randomly. So I'm just going to use some wet wipes to sort of try and clean up how that sort of came to be. I guess I should turn like the bag inside out at this point to try and really clean it up. I don't know how effective it's going to be, but we might as well try. I don't know if this bag, maybe I can like toss it in the washing machine or something. I've honestly not tried. It doesn't have like a thing on it to say do or don't do that, but my heart at least says that's probably not a good idea. So sorry, I'm finessing with this at the same time. You might be like, this is not conducive to a good Animal Crossing episode, but at the same time, I'm like, this is kind of what you sign up for. With a Dear Darling Animal Crossing episode, I do random stuff part way in between because well, it's just efficient, isn't it? Not to sort of like go on again about efficiency, but if you can knock out two birds with one stone, I don't see why you shouldn't. If it doesn't come at the cost of either one of them. But yes, there's definitely like a sort of like weird sticky patch because of these melted cough sweets in my bag, which I don't want. It's not conducive to a great thing. Anyway, sorry, the Champs-Élysées. It was just like a very nice, it was honestly a pretty nice walk as well, I think. Like I thought it might be like too long and too boring or something. And maybe my friends found it boring, but I found it quite like engaging all the same. I thought, like, as I said, it was actually one of my underrated favourite moments. I do think the Catacombs was, I would rate higher, just because it was much more of like a thought-provoking sort of touristy place. Oh, this one was just sort of like I feel like I'm living like a Parisian idyllic life or something. Despite the fact that, yeah, I mean, everything is insanely expensive, unsurprisingly. Like we went to a store later, Le Bon Marché or something, which unsurprisingly has a lot of like luxury designer brands, which are all insanely expensive, at least for the sort of budget that I'm on right now. Maybe sometime in the future it won't be. Things will be much more affordable, but it's not the future I'm in right now. I'm in the existing present. So I had to wait for that future to come or not to come past. But I don't know. I guess it's just the vibe of it. That's the kind of vibe I really jive with. Wouldn't say I'm like a big city sort of person, but like that sort of big city vibe, I'm just like, yes, absolutely, give that to me. I eat that up. Like big city sort of like, I guess it's, I mean, most people kind of do. It's sort of like that big city wonder, isn't it? The sort of thing where you sort of like look about the place, you come up from a subway station, you go, wow, oh geez, look how grand and great this place is, or something like that, you know. It's probably cleaned up that bag pretty nice like. Yeah, it's the sort of thing which you can easily get like swept up in the wonder of, in my opinion. Maybe you're not, maybe you resist it, but yeah, we walked up and down. Apparently I closed the photo album at some point, which I definitely shouldn't have done. But yeah, I bought that. I'm trying to think if I bought anything else. I'm not sure if I did. I've actually yet to use the eau de toilette while I'm back home in the UK. Mainly because a lot of the time I don't always just put on eau de toilette. It does seem a little excessive sometimes, but sometimes I put it on, sometimes I don't. Maybe this will become sort of like my scent, my smell. Oh yeah, we had crepes as well. I forgot. From a place we stopped off. How were the crepes? I thought they were fine. Pretty decent. And it also started getting super rainy towards the end, so like with me and my friend, we took some very nice sort of rainy day photos. Which I think they're such a mood, to be perfectly honest. But they're like at the end of the Champs-Élysées, next to the Concorde. We saw the fountain, we got yeah, we got home. There's a lot of times where we returned back to our place and we were just like soaking wet or something. This is definitely one of those times, but I don't know, like I don't know how else to describe it, because it really is not like there's anything crazy about. It's not like I was walking down the Champs-Élysées and I was like, oh, this crazy thing happened. It is just like a pretty nice looking avenue, street, or boulevard, I suppose. I forget what the actual technical term was. I think it's considered a boulevard, I'm not sure, because isn't a boulevard something like that, and it's like a street with lined by like trees and greenery on the side or something. I don't know if that's a technical term, but that in my head is what a boulevard is technically. But I don't know. Wikipedia did say avenue, so what do I know? There was also like an art exhibition, which unfortunately was basically like closed by the time we went to it. There's a very, very fancy looking McDonald's, which we didn't stop at, I don't think, but what else is there? Oh yeah, the Arc de Triomphe is a very small thing, is how we were going to go like up inside it, but it turns out it costs quite a lot of money to actually just like go underneath it, and we were just like, it's not worth it. The coolest sort of angle you get is from the outside of it anyway, in my opinion. Like, so, I don't know, a lot of the places look very nice when they're lit up at night time. Yeah, I don't know. It just was such a vibe, I suppose. That sort of like high-end luxury stylings, well, definitely it's not something which I partake in much as an aesthetic. It's very much up my street for things which like appeal to me like visually. Which I don't know if that feels like a typical thing on me or not a typical thing on me, but I don't know. That's why I had so much like fun, I think, surprisingly, walking down Champs-Élysées. I do like shopping and window shopping, to be perfectly honest, but it's not always obviously feasible. And that's the thing, you know, shopping in general is an expensive hobby. Well, most hobbies are pretty expensive, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, every time now I think about the Champs-Élysées, I only think about the Phineas and Ferb song, In the City of Love, where Isabella sings the line, I wish he would look at me. No, I wish he'd look at me and whisper, ma chérie, je t'aime. No, that's not right. What more can I say when we're strolling down the Champs-Élysées in the city of love? That sounds right. In the city of love, an absolute banger of a Phineas and Ferb song. Yeah, I don't know, strolling down the Champs-Élysées. Would I recommend it for everyone? No. If you have similar sort of vibes where you're like, I want to see like luxury stores that are lining down the street, a busy city street, yeah, I'd recommend it. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's very nice at night time as well. Sort of the street lit up with sort of lights here and there. I don't know. I think the best way I can encapsulate it is, was it a particularly practical sort of like tourist location thing we did? No. I mean, the core of it is basically like we took a train a long distance and then we walked for half an hour and then, well, we didn't take a train back. We did other stuff that day, to be fair, but we didn't really do much shopping because a lot of it was either closed or expensive. But is it a total mood? Is it very aesthetic walking down there? Absolutely. And you know me, sometimes you do it for the aesthetic, just to see, you know what, just to see what it's like. See the mood, see the vibes, see if that jives with you. And if it don't, then, well, so be it, I guess. But yeah, I forgot what else I was gonna say about that. But yeah, Champs-Élysées. I don't know what else I was gonna say about it. It's just like a nice place. I don't really know much about it. Maybe I should have kept that Wikipedia Champs-Élysées open just to see if there was any fun facts we can learn about it. I know even less about the Champs. HC Maps Élysées, as they put, apparently. It just ends up being a famous street. What does Champs-Élysées even mean, technically? Is it like someone's name? 1.91 kilometers northwestern Paris, that's true. Jardin des Champs-Élysées? Run through a garden or something. History. Until the reign of Louis XIV. Wow, it feels like it's going to be long. Yeah, maybe I'm not going to read this entire thing. It's kind of old street, to be honest. Retail stores on the avenue. Merchants in 1860. Mid-sized shopping malls with extended shopping area. Oh yeah, and I guess part of the reason is a lot of the luxury stores are fashion luxury stores, which obviously appeals to me quite a lot. Louis Vuitton, Abercrombie & Fitch, Hugo Boss, Dior, Celio, I don't even know what Celio is. Marks & Spencer, Foot Locker. Not always, I suppose, necessarily the most luxurious, but certainly some of them are. Mercedes, Peugeot, Toyota. Car showrooms. I don't remember car showrooms, but maybe that just sort of shows what I'm interested in or not. But yeah, anyway, on that note, I guess I'll round this episode off here. I don't really have much else to say about it. It's just a pretty cool street, to be honest. What more can I say? What more do I need to say? Except for it was a cool street. So on that note, I'm going to round this episode off here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.